I don't think I can do this. This is a phrase you might be familiar with, as it is commonly proposed when someone's put in a situation that they are not completely comfortable with or out of their comfort zone. The dictionary definition of a positive mindset, positive thinking, or an optimistic attitude is the practice of focusing on the good in any given situation. It can have a big impact on your physical and mental health. That doesn't mean you make light of your problems or ignore reality. Positive mindset is what allows a person to get through the toughest of times. The idea or saying that you have already gone through 100% of the challenges that you have faced is something that I use often. The capability to look at a given situation and recognize or relate back to how much you have grown and developed is the key to understanding and being positive. When I was in grade 10, I suffered from a brain injury known as AVM hemorrhage, or in scientific terms, an arteriovenous malformation, which puts extreme pressure on the walls of the affected arteries and veins, causing them to become thin or weak, and in my case, a rupture and a bleeding. So for nearly a week, I was completely paralyzed, unable to move or speak, slowly regaining movement and strength in my body within week 3 in the hospital. I was still unable to see, but I was still able to see the positives and recognize the positives. It took 3.5 weeks for me to be capable of opening my left eye, which is my good eye, and took another 3 months for my vision to return to some form of normalcy. This was a time in my life where, although all this was happening, I never clued into the actual effect that it had on my body, as I thought I was going to be normal and, return back to what I was in no time. It wasn't until nearly a few months later, after the incident, when I was given the option to either return to school or take a year off. Returning to school, for me, was my only option, as I knew if I took the year off, my mental health would diminish tremendously. As well, I was given the opportunity to attend this phenomenal school. So returning back to school was a real eye-opener, as every moment of every day, I was terrified that it was going to happen again, my injury was going to happen again, as I still am waiting to get the all clear from the doctors. Every day, I would walk from class to class, or anywhere I would go, and I would constantly be looking for somebody I knew or a teacher in case it was happening again, and they would be able to rush me to the hospital. So I was living in fear every moment of every day, constantly crying myself to sleep because I was unsure if I was going to wake up, or I was scared I wasn't going to wake up. Before the incident, everything was pretty easy for me. School was easy, sports was easy, and after, everything came 100 times harder. I was in need of 2 naps every day just to get my homework done from school. I was in a situation that I never thought I would have been put in. After having most certainly the most difficult year of my life, which was grade 11, all physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was capable of telling myself that year wasn't going to happen again. It allowed me to develop habits that would force me to recognize the good in any situation and how far I had come from my original state. The fact that I was returning back onto the ice and skating by myself, or slowly getting back into the gym, was a feat that I thought would not have been possible the year before. Seeing these positives just allowed me to be happier, and allowed me to not do something that might have been drastic. I tried not to look at myself in a let's get back to normal standpoint. Rather, I looked at it as let's just get better than the day, the week, and the month before. Using this mindset allowed me to recognize the positives that are occurring in life and that all life has to offer, even if it wasn't what I had pictured for myself previous to my injury. Many people have come up to me and constantly ask me why I'm always happy or why I have a smile on my face. The simple reason being, I don't want people to feel how I felt that those past few years, powerless and overwhelmed by negative thoughts. By staying positive, we allow others to be capable of feeling the same way. We allow others to put a smile on their face as well. As positive emotions and a smile is often contagious, such that around. When we imitate someone's expressions, those expressions trigger our brains to feel the same way. A wise woman once told me that although I play defense in hockey, my message should be to live life on the offense. Whether that be pursuing my aspirations or dreams, one should not wait for the puck or the opportunity to come to them. Rather, you should strive and power through the difficult times to do what needs to be done. There's going to be moments where you're challenged and someone or something is trying to stop you, but it's what you do and make out of those negative situations, how you turn those negatives into future positives that allow you to be successful and happy. So not dwelling on what could have been, yet rather focusing on what you currently have and how to make yourself the best version you can become. So the simple practice of disregarding the negative compounds in the phrase can make all the difference when pursuing a positive outlook on life. With that being said, I think I can do this. Thank you.